Welcome to today's episode of Print to Pixel. We're joined by our guest, Jesse Cunningham of HubSpot. Jesse is a platform partnerships manager where he works with organizations just like Postalytics to build great integrations with HubSpot and take full advantage of HubSpot's partner marketing infrastructure. He currently oversees over 1,300 partners in the HubSpot ecosystem. Prior to HubSpot, Jesse was a marketing technologist at Campaign Creators, a HubSpot Elite Solutions Partner Agency, where he learned the value of implementing great integrations with the full range of HubSpot hubs, including their marketing products, sales, service operations, and the HubSpot CMS. Welcome to Print to Pixel, Jesse.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. So Jesse and I work together with the Postalytics and HubSpot partnership. And so we go back and forth, work on a lot of different initiatives. Jesse, I think for our audience, who's really, it's a marketing centric audience, you know, I'm sure they're very curious. How does one arrive at a great company like HubSpot in a marketing platform manager role? Tell us how you got here and what were the formative things that led to you joining HubSpot in this position?
Yeah, definitely. So it all started about 6, 7 years ago. I was coming out of college. I was an intern at a digital marketing agency where I thought I would just spend a semester learning about digital marketing overall. But then I started to work a lot more closely with the internal team, and they were leveraging HubSpot. And I thought, what an interesting solution. This is something I'd learned a little bit about in marketing classes, but didn't dive super deep into. So I spent that 6 months, which turned into a year, which was an unpaid internship of about 30 hours a week. So it was a big commitment, but it definitely paid off in the end. So I was I was the only intern who got hired for that 2 year period. And while I was there, I started working with clients after working internally. And that's when I really started to understand the power of HubSpot and the power of marketing technology. In that, I really started to understand how do integrations tie a piece into what just HubSpot does and pulling in other tech stacks. I didn't work with a single client who only used one piece of software. Everybody used multiple. And as I was working and implementing these integrations, it really dawned on me that there was a big difference between the quality of one versus another. One did a lot of robust, great, remarkable things. One synced over barely any data to really do much with. So as I started to see more of these solutions that had these gaps, I'd always wanted to work at HubSpot because it was just such a great product to work with. And toward the end of my job at the agency, I was working on an onboarding team. So we were helping scale the systems and helping get customers up and running. It was very fast paced, and I really started to understand operational efficiency and how to scale. So when I went to HubSpot, our app partner program, which has gone just growing so fast and so many things rapidly changing, there was a lot that was not put in place in terms of systems and automations and just operationally. That's what I'd been doing at my previous job. And again, I knew the difference in the quality of the integration. So I felt like I saw this opportunity where I could help improve integrations. I can help build better systems for HubSpot, and I could just help more partners in a longer or bigger market. So one thing is I love to help people. It's a passion of mine. So before I get to work with tens or hundreds of customers, now I get to work with several hundred partners, like you talked about, 1,300. But as of a couple of days ago, now it's 1,400, and we have new ones signing up every single week. So being able to manage such a long tail of partners and such a high volume, it takes a system and automation. And with that marketing technology background, I was an expert in using HubSpot. Every single hub, I trained businesses on it. And this is where I could come in, and HubSpot uses HubSpot internally, where I could build out these systems very fast, quickly, and take my passion and put it into a solution for HubSpot. So that's kind of what led me to this role and where I am today. And I've been doing this for a little over 2 years now, working with this number of partners here at HubSpot.
Well, that's great. It's really quite a story, going from an unpaid internship to this role. Congratulations on
Thank
all your
you.
growth and success. That's phenomenal. And you know, so we at Postalytics got involved with the HubSpot Partner Program many years ago, really right when we launched Postalytics back in 2017, 2018. And at that time there were maybe a couple of hundred partners, and it was really getting off the ground. So to hear uh, that there are now 1,400, it's truly amazing, the growth. Um, and I think that says something about HubSpot's commitment to partnership. And it might be interesting for uh, all of us to get an understanding of how HubSpot thinks about partnering with other technology companies, and why is HubSpot investing so much into building out this application partner program. Uh, you know, Help us understand, HubSpot's perspective, why this is all happening, and how it really might benefit partners and agency solution providers.
Yeah, so I love that question. It's something we think about very often here at HubSpot. We like to look at it as a win-win-win scenario. So, in terms of the customer gets better stickiness and better value out of the two tools together, HubSpot has happier customers. Our partner also has happier customers and can lean on the integration to win new revenue. So, HubSpot's not monetizing the marketplace at any capacity today. That may change in the future, but in the near term and where we're talking right now, that's not something we're doing. However, again, the real value HubSpot gets from the ecosystem is that 1 + 1 = 3. Our CEO Yamini loves to tell that story of, like, Postalytics, for an example. Someone who's using direct mail and using HubSpot, sure, they're both great separate, but when you can put the two together and lean into that automation and lean into that scale and really do so much more than the tools could ever do separate, it really does create that 1 + 1 = 3 and provides just so much more value and a better experience to the customer. And that's really where HubSpot sees the benefit, is that customer value and experience.
That's great. From our perspective, as really a point solution, right? An organization is building software that is trying to solve a very specific problem for marketers. It's been a huge benefit for us to be able to tap into the HubSpot Partner Program. It is by far number one integration. We have, the vast majority of our biggest customers are also HubSpot customers. And so we've got a tremendous amount of overlap. And, one of the things that we've done over time is, as you mentioned, to help, grow this relationship. We started out with an integration that worked really well, and then over a period of a couple of years, we thought through a lot of new ways that we could potentially integrate with HubSpot. And HubSpot changed a lot over time too, right? Things like custom
Yes.
objects happened, and other hubs like service and operations came into effect, and so um, what we decided to do is take that original integration that we built and make that a part of our freemium offering to our customers. And then we built out what we call our HubSpot Premium integration that enables a much more flexible method of integrating beyond just the contact object. And it allows us to tap into workflows that can be generated from all of the different objects, and really leverage some of the advances that HubSpot has made in terms of attribution and reporting on the backside, so that as mail is delivered and people hit their QR codes, all of that information is being captured in a much more usable way. And so being able to kind of grow with HubSpot, and to differentiate and segment our audience with different products has been a really great thing for us over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the huge benefits of the marketplace and where integrations start to really provide more value for businesses. There is what I like to call the obvious, which is usually not so obvious. But what is that core use case that customers we know they're going to need? This is the number one thing that these two systems should be doing together. And then that kind of leads to, well, what is the not so obvious? With different hubs and a lot of these APIs being connected to multiple hubs at once, what are the other use cases we can solve for? Like you touched on, maybe sending direct mail at one point was for a marketer, but then sales really starts to understand how they benefit from it. Then customer success or customer service, all these different teams can start benefiting from this integration. And the use cases just continue to expand as you have more businesses start adopting. You get that customer feedback, which I always emphasize is so important with integrations. Customers will often tell you what they want and what they're looking for. And a lot of times you can find trends and reasonably expect that if this customer is dealing with this issue and they are from a very similar industry and vertical, they likely have that same challenge. So again, just helping identify like what is beyond the obvious that we weren't thinking about before that we're now taking advantage of today. That's something we see very often in the HubSpot ecosystem. And it's one thing I love to help work with partners to identify.
That's great. That's great, and we've seen that for sure in with our customers, and working with you and your team has been a huge benefit for us. Uh, in a slight transition, there's a gentleman at HubSpot that I believe is in your organization named Scott Brinker,
Yes.
and Scott is pretty well known in the world of marketing technology for developing an infographic that has, over the years, really sort of charted the growth of marketing tech solutions. And when he started doing this, I forget what year it was, but it wasn't that long ago. There were, a couple of hundred marketing tech solutions, and now there are more than 14,000.
And growing.
And growing, exactly. It's just exploding, continuing to explode. It seems like every year there are predictions like this is the year of consolidation and the marketing tech ecosystem is going to shrink, but it never happens. So as a marketer or a marketing organization, as a solutions provider, um, you know, marketers have to be able to have some context, right, and understand. Clearly there are a million solutions out there, and they're popping up every day. Some are from huge brand names, and others are from innovative, smaller startups. And so, I would imagine that your role at HubSpot is partially about helping to make sense, right, of all of this, and to make sure that the experiences that HubSpot customers are getting are good experiences. And so, if you put yourself in the shoes of a marketer who's looking at this Scott's infographic of 14,000 solutions out there, and they, the marketing needs to solve some problems. What are some of the lessons that you've learned, and things that you've seen from your position, your role, that can help a marketer make a good selection and good choices about their process and the ultimate use cases that they focus on for those integrations that they make?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one thing I've definitely seen in how customers are acting, how marketers should be thinking about it, really is this broader connected ecosystem. There are, like you mentioned, 14,000, and I'd say even exponentially growing, especially with the use of AI and so many new tools coming out and how fast it is to deploy a product these days. It's growing at just an exponential rate. So how do you actually know what is the right tool or what's going to work best for you? What we like to see and what customers are we're noticing they're doing is looking at where is the synergy between this tool and your source of truth. So if it's going to be maybe a quoting solution, there could be 15 different to choose from that you think all could be a good fit. But if you're using a platform like HubSpot or whatever CRM, if you can find something that integrates with that CRM, and if you have that use case that you want to solve for, and this one speaks directly to it, I like to urge people to think of it doesn't matter how long the tool's been around, because there could be a newer startup that's replicated that solution is iterating on it much faster than that legacy tool, like HubSpot has done with some of its competitors that are more legacy, and we're iterating a lot quicker and doing a lot more and growing much more rapidly because of these things. So I always urge, like, what is the true use case? How does it tie to your existing tech stack? And how can other teams leverage it? Again, that synergy of, yes, this works great for the sales team, but other teams can benefit as well, is really how we like to think about it. And once you start having separate systems that are siloed and they're not connected at all, it creates so much more friction and reduction of time, more chance for human error. So integrations is what I like to lean on, and what I urge others to lean on, of what is the best solution for me and my business, is really, again, what's going to tie to your source of truth, so you know you're going to get the most value out of it.
Exactly. Yes. And just going back to some of the original principles by which we founded Postalytics, and why we've been so attracted and worked so intently with HubSpot on the integrations. Direct mail marketing has traditionally been a solution often for very much sort of top of the funnel marketing activities, lead generation. You're a retailer running a sale, you're trying to get to transactions, and so the data that has often been used traditionally in direct mail is quite often third-party data that is
Mhm.
acquired through other sources, and the data sits in spreadsheets, and as a result of that, it has no connection to anything else happening in the marketing tech stack. And so your email, your text message campaigns, your digital ads, your social, everything that is sitting inside of your CRM and marketing automation tools has traditionally not had any way to interact with the direct mail programs because, like I said, it's been managed just in spreadsheets. And so our idea was, well, that's great, but eventually we're going to be moving to a first party data world where the information that organizations have about their prospects, about their leads, are going to be sitting in tools like HubSpot. And as a result, direct mail can be used for those same types of solutions, those same types of campaigns, but also for other use cases that are further down in the customer lifecycle. And so we've really loved to have leveraged with HubSpot are the workflow solutions, so that marketers can target a single piece of direct mail to go out at a particular stage of a customer life cycle, whether it's mid funnel, low funnel, post sale, win back, all sorts of different use cases. And so I think that the integration has really opened up all sorts of new ways to use direct mail, and it's been a wonderful experience for us as a company and our customers, because we've been able to work together to provide that type of solution.
Yeah, no, 100%. And one thing this has been a trend that's been going on for a very long time, and it's continuing, is that consumer behavior is changing. People don't want a untailored message that doesn't resonate with them at all, that they don't know why they got it. Because oftentimes they won't open it, they won't read it. Everyone's gotten something in the mail from someone, a brand that you've never heard of before, or something that may not exactly resonate with what you may be wanting to buy. So by using that first party data, again, this is just so important. It's for marketing emails, SMS, direct mail, is getting the right message to the right person at the right time is going to hit so much better and so much more often than a spray and pray method. So for buying that third party data, again, you don't know how many of those people have already gotten something from a competitor or someone in a similar space. But in that first party where you really can do a tailored message, you have a little bit more sense of when the last time they got something. Did they open it? Did they scan that code? Did they have any other conversations with a sales team, with a marketer, with customer success? Any of that, you can really start to piece together, even bring it up on a call. Oh, we sent you this letter. If you're not tracking that in a CRM, there's no way for your sales team to know that this particular person they're speaking to got a letter in the mail from you a week ago. When you can put that cohesive story together, the customer just feels so much more seen and heard, and you're speaking a lot more to what their experience and needs are rather than these different things going on where there's no connection. You really want to put the pieces together in this new customer journey where customers are so much more savvy. They're expecting a lot more of a personalized experience. And that's just a great way to get that.
Definitely. And we've titled the podcast "Print to Pixel," and it having that integration there, where the print part is sitting right alongside the pixel part, uh, enables organizations to use the channels, in an intelligent way, and instead of sort of sending the direct mail campaign out and then hoping to get an understanding of when it's going to be delivered, 6 weeks down the road, and then doing an email blast. If you can have your marketing automation tool coordinate everything, you're so much better off, and you end up with a much better customer experience when everything is managed and coordinated out of a single spot. So we're big believers there. So to wrap up, Jesse, if you're a marketer or an agency that is using HubSpot, where can they go? What are the best resources that are available that HubSpot provides to find these great integrations?
Yeah, so the HubSpot app marketplace is a great place to come search for solutions. If you're dealing with any different type of, if it's direct mail, if it's quoting, if it's an ERP system, the HubSpot app marketplace is a great place to come search for solutions. You know that they're directly integrated with HubSpot. You can understand what is that data flowing back and forth. This is actually going to do what I'm looking for. Is it tied to the connected objects? I am a strong believer in that not all integrations are equal and not all development teams are equal. So Postalytics has built a great integration. So I think that's a great choice for marketers if they're looking for a direct mail solution. But that is the number one place I'd recommend searching. That's where you can see recommended apps is a new thing that we put into our marketplace search of. If you are in a specific industry, vertical, company size, region, that pulls into an algorithm that'll feed recommended apps. So you can see someone in a very similar or very similar on paper company is leveraging and benefiting from this particular integration. You might want to check it out too. So again, it's just an awesome place to find solutions, find things that are recommended to you, and even come across things that you may not even know that could be integrated with HubSpot. I like to break down those barriers and connect the systems and keep all the data flowing back and forth between your tools to get the most value out of every dollar you're spending on software. So that's where I'd recommend them to look.
Love it. That's great. And finally, to wrap up, Jesse, if the audience has questions, want to reach out and connect with you in any way, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, the best place to find me, if you want to chat about anything, integrations, marketplace, you can find me on LinkedIn, Jesse Cunningham. Or if you are a system integrator and want to connect and build an integration with HubSpot, also, you can find me on LinkedIn, shoot me a message. I love to chat with people who love to chat. So I'm always open to it.
Awesome. Well, Jesse Cunningham, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed our conversation here today. And I'm sure you can tell how excited we are to work with HubSpot. It's been a great partnership. We look to continue to build on that. So thanks everybody for joining us today on Print to Pixel. We look forward to speaking with you soon on our next episode.